everybody, it's Mrs. Z. I'm happy to be back. Today we're going to talk about in Reading Wonders how living things change as they grow. That's the theme. We know that this big old tree wasn't always this big. No, it started as a tiny little seed. We also know when we studied the caterpillar, when we read The Hungry Caterpillar by one of your favorite authors. Yes, that's right, you know it, Eric Carle. We had discovered that the butterfly didn't always look like a butterfly. In fact, it started as a tiny little egg. Then the egg hatched and a little baby caterpillar came out, ate lots of green leaves, grew and grew, and then hardened into a chrysalis, and shortly after emerged or came out a beautiful butterfly. So yes, things do change as they grow. How about you? Have you always been this big? No. Have you always had that much hair? No. You're changing every day because you are growing. Now, today's selection in Reading Wonders is A Grand Old Tree by Mary De Palma. And I'm going to read that to you, but first I want to introduce some of our new sight words. I want to review, introduce one, and I also want to go over a new letter, which is a vowel, so it makes actually two sounds. Let's take a look at our old sight words, because I always spiral back and review. Who can tell me what this one is? My. Excellent. Let's spell it. M-Y. My. It shows ownership. This is my house. I'm so happy you could join me and visit with me today. How about this one? I. Good. Try to make a sentence in your head. I like candy. I like candy. And did some of you get candy this past weekend? I think so. Kalel, you told me you got lots in an Easter basket. How about this word? Like. L-I-K-E. Like. What do you like? Well, I know I like you. How about this word? That's right, it begins with an S. S-E-E. See. You use your eyes to see. What do you see? Take a look around. I see a plant. I see some pillows. I see you. How about can? That's a good word. Can. C-A-N. What can you do? And. A-N-D. When you're connecting two people or two things. For example, Kalel and Shane like the color red. How about do? Do. You can use do as a question. Do you like the movie Turbo? I do. I know you do too. How about go? Where would you like to go today? I would like to go back to school. How about to? How about to? Let's think about a sentence for to. I want to go. I want to go to the beach. That's where I'd like to go to. And how about Y-O-U? You. You are very special, and that is true. And we make a good team. T-H-E. Who knows it? Oh, I think I hear my friends out there. That's right. The. Very good. This is the story that we are going to read. A Grand Old Tree is the title. My. That was our word last time we met. But today I have a new word for you. Does anyone recognize this word? It's are. Yes, you are wonderful students. Or I could use it and maybe ask a question. Are you ready to learn today? Let's spell the word are. A-R-E. Are. Well done. Now, I can take my marker and whoops, my card fell. Whoops, some pictures fell. Oh boy, everybody. I can take my marker and I can write a sentence with the word are. I'm going to start with the word you. We know that. But remember, when we write a sentence, we need to use a capital letter. Y-O-U. You are A-R-E. You should make a card at home so you can review it and use it and make your own sentences. You, we know this word, are, that's my new word of the week, are. You are, and let's use one from last week. Anyone remember that? My. You are my, what? You are my, how about we say friend? You are my friend. Now, we know the word you. Are is our new word. My is our word from last week. And friend, what does friend begin with? Actually, it's a consonant blend. Listen. Fr. You hear F and R. You are my friend. It ends with that D sound. Now, I'm telling you something. You are my friend. Would I put a period or a question mark? I hope you're saying period because I'm telling you something. I am not asking you. If I said, are you my friend? Then I would use the question mark. Very good. So the word for the week is are. The word from last week is my. And the sentence we just created today together is you are my friend. Look at you. You are starting to read and spell. I'm proud of you. Now, the letter we're going to talk about this week in Reading Wonders is letter E. Take a look. And you might be saying, oh, Mrs. E. That's what you call me, Mrs. E. Let's take a look. It's uppercase E, lowercase e, E, egg, and here comes the sound, and I'm going to stretch it out real big because it's a vowel. One more time. Uppercase E, lowercase e, E, egg, Very good. Mrs. E likes how you're working this morning. I sure do indeed. Now, Samantha, not to disappoint you, Mrs. E learned the song, and I want to share it with you that Brandon always sings. It's about eggs. It goes like this. Scrambled eggs, fried eggs, eggs on a plate. Boiled eggs, eggs on toast. Hurry, don't be late. Eggs are good for breakfast and in a salad too. No matter how you cook them, they are good for you. Scrambled eggs, fried eggs, eggs on a plate. Boiled eggs, eggs on toast. Hurry, don't be late. No matter where you go, no matter what you do, never, ever, ever put an egg in your shoe. Ooh, that would make a mess, right? So I hope you enjoyed that little song, Samantha. Brandon stopped by and taught it to me last night. Now, I'm going to show you some more pictures that have that sound before I read a grand old tree to you. Does anyone recognize this picture? You get cards in this, and Mrs. E mails out big ones to you with worksheets in it, and I call them your packets, but I send them in an envelope. Good. Yes. How about this? Maybe if you go into a tall building, or you have an appointment somewhere, or maybe you live in an apartment house, you may step or wheel onto an elevator, and it takes you up and down. Good. How about this? They're pointing to the little girl's elbow. Show me your elbow. That's it. Good job. You have 2 elbows. And we sang a song about scrambled eggs, fried eggs, eggs on a plate, boiled eggs, eggs on toast. Hurry, don't be late. We sang our egg song. Good, let's say it together. Egg. Good. Up. And here's a sign we have in our classroom. We have 2 of these in our classroom. And we talked about this also. When you enter the room, that's the entrance. But where you leave is the exit. The exit. Very good. Back to the big red envelope. So our letter for the week, one more time, everybody, is letter E. Boy, was I happy to see this one. Uppercase E, lowercase e, egg, very good, very good. All right, let's get to our story of the week. I cannot wait to share it with you. And here it is. A grand old tree. What does tree begin with? T. Let's spell that word. T-R-E-E. Grand means very special. And you can see this tree is not a baby tree. No, it is not. It is not a sapling. It is a full-grown tree. Let's get to our story. Here's our title page, Grand Old Tree. Let's take a look. Her roots sank deep into the earth. And we all know we live on planet Earth. Take a look at the roots. They grow under the soil. Remember, the roots help the tree to absorb all kinds of water and nutrients, and it also keeps it firmly in the ground in case you have a very windy day, just like we had the other day, last week. Her arms reached high into the sky. Take a look at her branches reaching high, and at the very, very top, there is a bluebird. Where is the sky? We talked about the sky, right? Yes, we did. The last science video I made for you, we talked about the day sky. And we know the sky is the place where you see the sun and the clouds, and at night, the moon and the stars. She was home to many creatures. Birds nested among her branches. Take a look. Yeah. Squirrels scurried through her leaves. caterpillars and ladybugs crawled about. There's the caterpillar. We were talking about that before. And here's a nice nest. I wonder if it's Nellie's nest. You know it was the very best. And there's the mama bringing a worm back to her babies. And in the sky, we see the sun. So we know it's the daytime. The daytime. The grand old tree flowered. Let's open this book up wide. I hope you can see both pages. Oh, that might be better. The grand old tree flowered. And there it is in all its glory. It certainly is grand. I love trees. How about you? Do you love trees? And it also bore fruit. Look at that little berry. And the fruit is very good and food for the squirrels. Yeah, so it flowered and it bore fruit and it was great and big and they described it as being grand. Oh, I'm on page 14. Do you see that number? Let's see what it says. And it sowed seeds, right? We do know that we find seeds in fruits and flowers. So it sowed seeds. When the fruit or the berry fell to the ground, there was a seed inside that went into the soil. What do you think happens? Remember the acorn we talked about? Yes, it goes back into the soil. The acorn is a seed, just like these little black dots are seeds. And when they go into the ground and they get covered and warmed by the sun and get lots of rain and water, they sprout. She had many children, this grand old tree. Every time you see a little seedling, that's the tree's baby. Yes, that's a baby from the tree. A baby tree, a baby tree. They were her children. And they all started with seeds. Let's see what this says. They changed the landscape for miles around. For miles around. So when you looked out, you saw these beautiful trees growing. That changes the landscape. Perhaps even farther than the old tree knew. So you see, sometimes a bird may carry a seed or a berry, and when it drops it or poops it out, don't laugh, I know that sounds gross, a seed goes back into the earth, back into the ground. So you see this seed, which you know has a baby tree inside, is going far, far away and being dropped down to the ground, and a new tree will grow. Sometimes the wind carries seeds to new places. Sometimes animals, birds. The grand old tree lived a long, long time. She basked in the sun. She bathed in the rain. She stayed in the breeze, and she danced in the wind. She grew and she shed. Now you can tell that this is an autumn or fall picture because you see the brightly colored leaves that are falling down. Autumn leaves are falling down. Remember that song? Yes. And many, many millions of leaves. At last the grand old tree was very, very old. Now her branches no longer swayed and danced, but they cracked and they snapped in the wind. She's very old now. finally, that very special grand old tree, she fell, and snow gently covered her. And I know you may be feeling a little bit sad now, but let's keep reading, because maybe the grand old tree still has some gifts to give. The old tree died. She no longer flowered, bore fruit, or sowed seeds. All living things do die eventually. But she was still home to many creatures. Look, raccoons nested in her trunk. Even though her trunk was down on the ground, it still provided a home for other creatures. Centipedes crawled along her branches, and lichen grew on her bark. I see the mushrooms. Do you see them? Yes. So you see she still has a purpose. The grand old tree slowly crumbled. She became part of the earth. She became part of the earth. Now I'm going to give you a big science word. Decay, or she was decomposing, breaking down and going back into the earth. Today, the roots of her grandchildren sink deep into this earth. Their arms reach high into the sky. Remember, she had little children and baby trees that grew big too. And they are now homes for many creatures, just like their mom was. Just like their mom was. I see the birds, the owls, squirrels. I see some insects, the caterpillar and the ladybug. And they became just like the grand old tree, where they produced flowers and fruits and seeds inside the fruit. Remember, that's how it all started. Look, their seeds will fall to the ground and new baby trees will grow. And that's the cycle of life. Yeah, that's the cycle of life. Now here is an interesting scientific page. It says, from seed to a tree. How do trees grow? A tree starts from a seed. You can see that this is an apple tree. It has fruit. Let's see how the tree grows from a little seed. Well, there are the seeds. And the next time you cut an apple, take a look at those seeds. Maybe you want to plant them in your backyard. It starts as a seed that goes into the earth. Then the seed sprouts, and then you have a seedling, which is a baby plant. Well, a tiny plant. And then a sapling, and a sapling is a baby tree. A seed develops under the ground. It needs water and sunlight to sprout. Then it grows into a seedling, and the seedling grows into a young tree called a sapling. And there's your young tree. And there are those clouds. Remember, they're masses of tiny little water droplets. Very important for all living things on planet Earth. So is the sun. It gives us light and heat. Now, the sapling grows into a big tree. Flowers cover the branches, and the tiny apples grow from the flowers. They grow into apples. You can read this with me, this last sentence. Let's do it. We can eat. We can eat. I love apples. How about you? Do you love apples? I hope so, because they are good for you. They say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Now, there are many seeds in an apple, and the seeds in an apple can become a huge tree or a grand old tree one day. Isn't that amazing? Let's just review the words that we learned. Seed, it's the part of the plant that can grow into a new plant. Sprout, okay, that means it's starting to grow. Seedling is a young plant that has grown from a seed, and a sapling is a young tree. Maybe today you would like to eat an apple. Find the seeds and plant them in your backyard. And maybe one day you will have a grand old tree. Now the last thing I want to show you is your reader. You all have your readers at home, and I think you're going to love this story because it's about two bears, and I think you're really going to like the fact that these are not illustrations, they're photographs. They're taken with a camera, so they're real pictures of bears. And in this story, you are going to find your new word, R. There's an uppercase A because it starts the sentence. So what is our new word today? Our new word is R, everybody. Use it in a sentence. Our new letter is E. Mrs. E loves this one. Scrambled eggs, fried eggs, eggs on a plate. Boiled eggs, eggs on toast. Hurry, don't be late. No matter where you go, no matter what you do, never, ever, ever put an egg where? That's it. In your shoe. Don't do it. Have a good day, my friends. It was fun visiting with you.